Hi, I'm Gary Smith, and welcome to today's Home Inspector Vendor Spotlight. I don't recall completing too many inspections without first having something on a repair summary. And the repair cost usually is included in the negotiations. And we're excited today to have Repair Pricer with us. They're going to talk to us about their service. And we're speaking with Teague and Rob Ty. So we'll just jump right in. And guys, tell our listeners about you and about your service.
Perfect. So what we basically do is we take the inspection reports once you guys are finished, and we turn them into a pricing report, and we give a full breakdown of costs from every item on the inspection report. And we put them into 3 categories: defective, cosmetic, and potential. Which the realtors really like because we don't ruin any deals with things like 4 inches on handrails and items like that that they don't necessarily want to negotiate.
Right.
So that's how we do it. But we started a couple of years ago as builders and remodelers, and we were getting the inspection reports sent to us by realtors, and we were turning them into pricing reports, and then we were actually getting the work in the local markets. And then obviously we realized that there's a big grey area for this in the country. So we started Repair Pricer, and we started growing it and signing up inspectors. And just as we grew, this is what we've become now. So we're part of the Terry, the Perry, the Ashy, the Internashi, TAR, all of the local chapters. And we just take the inspection reports for your clients. Mm-hmm. And help them in the option period or in the home buying process. And we make all our profit from the reports, so we never have to sell anyone's information. We can just take the report, and that is it. They'll never get spam phone calls or spam emails.
Right,
Any clients, they'll never be touched.
So the inspector sends a report in. We've got sort of a thing going on right now in the marketplace, and certainly as a topic of discussion lately. And that is that other company whose name we won't mention, but it sounds like Porch. Yeah. They have a different kind of product, the same thing, but it's kind of different in that they provide labor. You guys don't provide labor, no?
So we're there just to get the pricing and the negotiation where they want it. And we obviously have the ability to offer a porch and all those other home buying, all those other stuff, but we don't. We don't do it because it makes inspectors uncomfortable, and they don't want that. So we don't do it because we make our profit from the report, not from sales and back-end items.
Right.
So right now we don't do any of that. I know Porch have a system to where the client can manually go in there and manually select things and find out pricing. But I mean, it's for your everyday person that goes onto it, that's buying a house and that needs an inspection report, they're not going to be able to do that accurately. And we turn it around within 24 hours or less, every item on the report. And then we work with them in the option period or in the home buying process to get the reports where they want it with their realtor. So we are saving them time.
Yeah. So if I'm an inspector and I'm hooked up with your contemplating, I'm thinking that I need to change the way I do my report. I need to send you different data. You're going to estimate it from my photos. Is that right?
Yeah, and we get that question obviously a lot from the inspectors. Then some inspectors are worried that they're not putting enough detail on there because of liability. For example, a lot of our inspectors will put 1 or more window thermal seal has broken. And obviously there could be 6, there could be 10, they put 1 or more. So now we tell them don't change a single thing. But what we have seen organically is a lot of inspectors will now put 3 or more windows. They'll kind of do it a little bit differently. For the inspection companies that are using us on every single report for their clients, they tend to adjust it a little bit, but we do not need you to in any way. We will work with the homeowners and the realtors and get the report where they want them. For example, drip edge is missing in areas, or there's about 10 foot of drip edge missing on the backside at 2 different prices. So, they do a little bit, but we genuinely don't need you to do anything different than they're doing right now. Just send us your reports in and we'll work with it.
Mm-hmm. So, but you wouldn't kick it back to us if we pulled out a tape measure and measured the length of the chair rail that needed replacing or whatever.
Yeah, we wouldn't hold that against you in any way, but
yeah.
Even if like handrail's loose, how much handrail is loose is not necessarily a key factor, because it's still going to be a carpenter or handyman trick charge to come out there, re-secure the handrail, time and labor.
So you do that estimating from scaling up the photos and the tricks of the trade, and that's how you that's how you do your job.
Yes,
that's what makes you special is your ability to pull that off. Yeah.
Everything's eyes on though. None of it's automated. It's all builders and contractors looking at the reports, and we work with them to get the prices where they need them. And we use things like Eagle View for the roofing, and we use like Zillow. So we'll go into the Zillow accounts and stuff like that and find out the better pictures for like the back end. See how much brick. If they say all the siding on the house needs replacing, we'll go into there and find out square footages from that.
So some of the text doesn't give you enough information. You do a little homework and pull up some other photos, and I'm sure that would help you with roofing estimates and things of that nature from a visual standpoint. So where did you did you guys come up with this idea? What's your background for that?
So I'm a builder, and so a few of us are builders and remodelers, and then one of the other partners is he owns 2 real estate companies. So we obviously knew each other already. So they were sending us, multiple reports a day from the 2 different companies to say, how much is this, how much is that, how much is that, and then he's the brains behind the operation, the guy who owns the real estate company. He don't get his hands dirty, but he does know how to build a great website and do all the marketing and do all that thing. So that's how it started about 2 years ago. And then obviously we brought on more partners, we brought on more influence, and had a cash injections, and now we've grown it to a national company that we can help all the inspectors.
That's super. Process. That's great. And you're integrated or beginning to integrate with other software platforms?
Yeah, so it's not so necessary for the integration as it is just getting the word out there, because we're integrated with Homebinder, we're talking with ISN for an API pull and all that lot. However, what we like to do is put a code on the inspector's website so that when the homeowner or the realtor does the upload, they do it on the inspector's website. So they never have to leave the inspector's website to do an upload. Plus, that is helping with that inspector's website optimization. So the inspector is going to benefit not just from helping his clients, but also we give all of his clients a discount because he recommended us. We also rush them through Fasto if it's an inspector that we use all the time. And then also his website is going to be more predominant on Google and situations like that, just for
it helps in SEO, helps in his search ranking.
Yes,
so what's the turnaround time? Walk me through an inspection that I do today, and I deliver the report, let's say at lunchtime today at 12 p.m. The client, I understand that the client has now looked at the report, and what happens after that?
So most of our inspectors put the link on the web, on the email body or in the inspection report. And so the client will see it then and say, yeah, I've got questions. And the inspector will say, well, if you've got questions on pricing, click here, right? And we'll take care of them. And then so they'll click there and it will pop up onto the inspector's website, and it will say, for $49.99, you get the inspection report, and you're guaranteed within 24 hours to get all the pricing back. However, if you need it faster than 24 hours, you can do a $39.99 upgrade, and then we stop all of the reports and we just work on that one until it's finished. So we know it's expensive and not everyone selects it, but some people, if they're in the end of their option period or they're really running out of time to negotiate, some people do select that, and we can have that back to them within 2 hours to 4 hours, any time of day. Just for selecting that. And that's why it's expensive, because it does take a lot more manpower to get that back to them. But yeah, the general home inspection, guaranteed within 24 hours or less for $49.99.
And it's sent then to the client and the agent.
Yeah.
That intake form sends. Who gets the data? Is it sent to the client? Then the client would pass it along to the agent or
So
other parties.
Yeah, it depends who's doing the upload, but basically, say the client's doing the upload, it'll say, do you also want us to send a copy to your realtor? If so, enter an email address here, and then what we do is we send it to both of them. Now, when our inspectors are on with us, we blind copy them on every pricing report so that they can see how many we're sending to their clients, what their clients do, and then also just check up on the accuracy of our reports, because a lot of our inspectors will check every single one and call us if they don't like the look of something and say, hey, actually there was 6 windows, or actually there was this and that, can you add that? And we're like, no problem, we add it, we resend it, and we say this is updated from what your inspector says. But they do not have to do that. That's just a couple of our inspectors like to have a bit more control over the situation like that.
There is a comment section, just to kind of piggyback off what Rob said. There's a comment section there that the purchaser can comment and say, I'd like you to spend a little bit more time in this area right here. This is a little bit more of what the client is, what I'm looking at as far as pricing. They can give their feedback as to, some things that they don't really care too much about and some things that they're really interested in. So it makes it more personal, because we do have somebody who is actually looking at that report and going through and looking at all the pictures, putting it all together, and that person will respond back to whoever purchases that report on a personal basis. So it is, it does give you a sense of
customization of sort of
customization. Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of you'd be talking to an operator or some other
Right.
staff member of yours that would be a little disconnected to their house. Personal touch always helps, and most inspectors are service oriented, so I think that's very important.
And that brings us on to our new feature with the realtors is when we deliver the inspection reports, within the next few weeks, we're going to have a portal for the realtor, because we're already saving the realtor all the time and energy of calling all the trades out, all the contractors, getting them out there, pricing it up, herding them like cats, putting it into an Excel sheet. So obviously we're saving the realtors all this time and energy.
Right.
And the reason we approach inspectors and not realtors is because, we're trying to be professional, take the emotion out of the transaction, and plus inspectors see a lot more transactions than realtors. So obviously that works for us. But we do have a portal coming online to where the realtor can go into it with the seller or the buyer, depending on which side they came from. Mm-hmm. And they can deselect items from the report, from the pricing report, and they can also move items from defective to potential or defective to cosmetic. They can have control over the report of what they want to negotiate with and how. Obviously, they can't ever touch the pricing because that's
very interesting. So, do you guys monitor data? Like, what's the average repair or do you break it down by region? Like, what's the average repair that you would 10 grand, 5 grand?
Yeah, I'd say about 8. 8 if it's an older home. Obviously we get a lot of new construction stuff come through and all that kind of skews the data a little bit, but I'd say about 6 to 8, obviously unless it's got a roof at the end of serviceable life or HVAC at the end of serviceable life, water heaters.
Could be 20 or 30.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
And a lot higher.
Interesting. Very interesting concept. So how do we get in touch with you? What's your website and email, or is that the best way, or phone number?
So there's on our website on repairpricer.com, there's a link to, if they want to become a reseller, they want to work with us, they just click on it, and it'll bring up a phone number and email, and then we'll reach out to them and get them where we want it. And everyone that's listening to this, we want to offer them a free sample, so they can just send us any inspection report, and they can black out the name if they want. It's no problem at all. And what we'll do is we'll send them back a pricing report within 24 hours and they can see organically how we work.
Gotcha.
And we recommend them do that like with one of their top realtors. Just take one of those inspection reports and say, hey, I'm thinking about recommending these guys. I've got this pricing report for you on this inspection report. See if you can use it, and then get some feedback from them.
As a practice session. So in order to be able to pull that off and get it and be a part of that, they would need, of course, to register with you and get so that you can contact them.
Yeah,
that would be the second step. Yeah, I mean, we can do a sample report for them up front, no problem. They send it to us, and then the second step would be to send them the information to be able to put our sign up form on their website, and then information to be able to draw in the client and the realtor to be able to offer that as a value-added service to them. As for the reasons like Rob said, you know, the realtor likes it because they don't have to chase around contractors, and it's also a great negotiation tool for the realtor, and it keeps the inspector obviously from having to discuss any kind of pricing, which you know is I know a lot of inspectors either don't discuss pricing, or they will give a pretty large window of how much a price would cost on items.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to add, folks, we're going to add some links and some email addresses in the show notes here on the program. Thank you guys for participating and hanging out with us, and give Repair Pricer a look, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Gabe.